Washington Commanders have executed yet another trade, sending defensive tackle John Ridgeway to the New Orleans Saints for a late day 3 pick swap in the 2025 NFL Draft. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button because we're going to be breaking down this trade, and then if there's another trade down the road, or if there's a big signing or whatever the case may be, if there's breaking news action for your Washington Commanders, we are going to get you guys a video for free right here on YouTube. Plus, we have daily content on here every single day, live shows every week, live watch parties for every Commanders game. We've got a bunch of stuff here on the channel, man. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now if you haven't already. And with that, let's jump right into this trade. The Washington Commanders upgrade one of their picks in the 2025 NFL Draft, adding an additional 6th-round pick in exchange for their 7th-round pick next year's NFL Draft, including John Ridgeway, who is a defensive tackle who is at the bottom of the Commanders' 53-man roster. Now, something of note here is that Ridgeway leaves an open spot on the 53-man roster. The Commanders have not decided who that 53rd player is going to be. Could they move somebody up from practice squad? Could they bring in somebody else? Could they execute another trade for a different player? All these are possibilities for GM Adam Peters and head coach Dan Quinn, who just spoke to the media in a press conference after setting their initial 53-man roster. But Ridgeway is somebody that was originally drafted by the Dallas Cowboys out of Arkansas. He eventually made his way over to the Washington Commanders. He's had some pretty significant playing time here in Washington. I think New Orleans saw somebody in Ridgeway that could be a part of their defensive line rotation this year, and that's what they saw in him, and they were willing to take a little bit of a downgrade in a late day 3 pick next year to make it happen. So let me know down there in the comments section, what is your one-word reaction to this trade today? Let me know down there in the comments section. In just a second, I'm going to let you guys know my one-word reaction here after I talk about our sponsor today at Factor. And while I'm talking about Factor here, give me your one-word reaction down there in the comments section. And with that, let's have word from our sponsor here at Factor Meals. And with fall right around the corner, guys, fuel up for those kind of crisp fall days with Factor's no prep, no mess meals today. Meet your wellness goals in time for fall thanks to Factor's menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and even Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes, so no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. Make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert and stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Head on over to factormeals.com/CommandersChat50 and use code CommandersChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code CommandersChat50 at factormeals.com/CommandersChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. A big shout out to Factor Meals for sponsoring today's edition of the Commanders Report. So my one-word reaction to the John Ridgeway trade today, guys, is ammo, and it definitely seems apparent to me that GM Adam Peters is loading up on draft capital and making sure that next year's draft haul is going to be as good as it can possibly be. Now, whatever the case may be, trading Jahan Dotson for a pick swap, sending a 5th-rounder to the Eagles, and getting a 3rd-rounder back. He's upgrading these picks because the Commanders want to get the best possible players in next year's NFL Draft, and that is very apparent at this point. Right now, you are loading up on the best possible draft capital that you can get so that you can get the best possible draft class to try and get Jayden Daniels and Dan Quinn, hopefully both still here next year, a chance to really have a breakout season in both of their second years with this organization. I've been saying it on the show for a long time, guys. This is a foundational year, so this is kind of like a rebuilding year. You know, you're going to take a couple of holes on your roster, but you're going to save a lot of money that you can roll over into the 2025 offseason. Once again, you're going to have a lot of money to spend in free agency next offseason, and you're going to have a very nice set of picks to use in the NFL Draft. And, you know, they are cleaning up shop, right? They're getting rid of a lot of the old Ron Rivera regime type players, like they cut KJ Henry, right? They're getting rid of a lot of these guys that were Ron Rivera type guys, and now they're starting to bring in their guys and Dan Quinn's people and Adam Peters' people so that they can build this team for the long haul. And I do think moving forward that this is a football team that's going to be very fun to watch this year. It's a first year in a new regime, but I do think that next year is really what Adam Peters has his eye on to really start making some big moves for this team moving forward. I'm very, very excited to see what the future has in store for the Washington Commanders. Now, let me know down there in the comments section. Get those red pens out. Grade this trade for me, A, B, C, D, or F. For me personally, for what it is, guys, I'll give it a B. You know, it's fine. You know, you get a little bit of a trade or a pick upgrade in the next year's NFL draft on day 3. It's nothing monumental or anything like that, but the Commanders were looking to deal John here and try to give him an opportunity to play more for another organization, and they found a trade partner, so I think everybody's happy in this scenario. So now let's talk a little bit about the practice squad players that the Washington Commanders have officially signed to their P squad. In the National Football League, you have 16 available spots. The Commanders currently have 14 players on their practice squad by the time that I am recording this video. Now, the first thing to cover today is that today was waiver claim day in the National Football League, and the Commanders did not get anybody on the waiver wire, all right? So they pretty much feel pretty content with the guys that they have on their roster right now. They didn't make any waiver claims. We'll see if they make another trade to bring in another player or if they sign somebody else here before the end of the week. But for right now, nobody has been added to the 53-man roster since yesterday. In fact, the only change to the 53-man roster is that John Ridgeway is no longer on the roster. So you get to the practice squad players here. Casimir Allen, Chigozie Anuzium, Julian Good-Jones, Sam Hartman did in fact make the practice squad this year, not Trace McSorley, Andrew Jones Jr., and then Haggai, I don't even know how to say his name, Ndubuisi. I hope I'm not doing my man dirty there with that pronunciation. I'm sure I butchered it, but he's a defensive tackle coming in here. And then we got Mitchell Tinsley, Bryson Tremaine, Cole Turner, all people that many Commanders fans already know. Those guys will be back on the practice squad. Carlos Watkins will be coming in as well. Michael Wiley, who had a really good training camp in preseason, will be back alongside Chris Rodriguez Jr. And then Bobby Price and Sheldon Day round out the rest of the practice squad right now. Now, as it's currently constructed, you can have 16 practice squad players. The Commanders have 14. So it's definitely possible over the next several hours that the Commanders fill out their practice squad before week 1. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already, because we're going to have those updates for you guys right here on the channel whenever they come. A little bit of extra news here. Mike Sainristil, rookie out of Michigan, slot cornerback, is officially going to be wearing number 0 this year. This is the photo that the team released of Mikey Sainristil, and man, I gotta say, it looks really clean, man. This guy looks like he deserves to wear that kind of number 0. I always say, if you're gonna wear number 0, you gotta be a pretty darn good player, and I think Mikey Sainristil is absolutely the type of player that deserves to wear that kind of number. Of course, he will be your starting slot cornerback this year, and honestly, I've said this even going back to when the Commanders drafted him. I think he might be the best cornerback on the team this year. I think he's supremely prepared to play in the National Football League. Slot defensive players are becoming more and more valuable with as much nickel as NFL teams are playing on defense nowadays. So I'm very excited to see what he looks like. And if he's wearing number 0, man, I think it's just confirmed everything that I've been saying about Sainristil to this point. So because Mikey is going to be wearing number 0, that means Marcus Mariota needed to find a new number, and he has chosen number 18. Okay, so if you see number 18, no, that's not a new quarterback. That is Marcus Mariota. And if you see number 0, that is not Mariota. That is Mikey Sainristil. Okay, guys, that'll be it for today's breaking news edition of the Commanders Report. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already, because we're going to have a bunch of great stuff coming your way here. We're going to have Commanders Report live on Friday. Today was a little bit crazy, so that's why we didn't go live today. But Friday, we will be going live. I'll have my preview for Week 1 versus Tampa Bay. I'll have my official record prediction for the Washington Commanders. It's going to be a lot of fun on Friday's live show, so make sure you guys click that subscribe button and join us Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern.